Good afternoon and Happy New Year's to everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis Autosports. Before we get into this video, we're shooting it inside. Also want to apologize in advance for the mess. We're under heavy construction in this part of our facility. It's been under construction for about 3 months. We're also shooting inside because it's getting ready to rain out, but also we have some really good high lumen LED lights in here, and I really want to show off this gorgeous white paint, much of what we painted. First thing you'll note are the gorgeous color match fender flares that we did, but you are looking at a 2000 Jeep Wrangler 4.0 Sport 4-wheel drive. This is a 2-owner, Carfax certified guaranteed Jeep, flawless history, locally traded in, 87,000 original and documented miles. This Jeep, like all of our Jeeps, came to us 100% bone stock, all original, zero modifications. Everything that I'm going to go through on this video has been done here in-house at Davis Autosports. The servicing, the reconditioning, the parts, everything is brand new. In my opinion, one of the classiest color combinations you can get in a Wrangler. All white, color match flares, tan interior, tan top. Doesn't get any classier. So we'll go over some of the major upgrades and modifications and servicing that we did to this Jeep. Please make sure to go to our website, davisautosports.com, or if you're viewing this on eBay, read all the content. These videos are just off the top of my head of what we've done to it. There's going to be a lot more information on the actual listing. So obviously, Jeep has a brand new 2.5-inch suspension lift, all new components all the way around. Front tubular bumper, front ARB IPF front fog lights. We also have black LED DOT approved headlights with black bezels around the headlights. We have our very own DAS Moab Rubicon replica wheels. We decided to make these wheels ourselves because they're the only ones on the market with a zero offset. There's 2 other manufacturers that make these. One currently in production is out of stock. They're made overseas, and the other company, they have a positive offset. So if you look at ours, they go in, they are concave. So that's why we made those. We have a brand new set of 285/75 16 BFG all-terrains, essentially a 33-inch tire. If you take a look behind that, you'll see brand new calipers, brand new rotors. We also have a brand new Spice soft top as well. Undercarriage of this Jeep is extremely clean. You'll see all the decals are in perfect condition as well. Cosmetically on the Jeep, we did a ton of work on it. Obviously, all the fender flares are color match, and what we actually did is we took these flares. We had these flares come off another TJ that we had, and they were a factory painted, but they were factory gray, and they are a little bit wider than the sport flares, which gives it a nice sort of stance with the larger tires. That way your tires aren't sticking out real far beyond the fender flares. Of course, we scuffed them all the way down in our body shop, primed them, base coated them white, clear coated them, and put those on. We also did the extension right there. We also painted, so the Jeep came in really, really good condition. Our first line of attack on Jeeps with the paint is paint correcting. What paint correcting does is you're essentially taking a very thin layer of clear coat off, but we need to be careful because you don't want to take off too much, because then you're not left with any. But also, if the clear coat has been worn out a little bit over the years, you really can't paint correct. And to get a Jeep to shine like this and everything else, especially with all the new painted flares, we decided to actually do some paint work to the Jeep. So in addition to the flares, we actually painted the front fenders as well. We painted the front grille, and we were able to paint correct the hood. We may have painted that. I'm going to have to double check. I'll put that in the listing. I do think we painted the hood and we painted the panel up there. So essentially the front clip got done. The doors were not painted. Those were paint corrected. Obviously rear flare was painted as well. So we had this in our body shop probably for 3 to 4 weeks, getting it all done, and the end result is essentially a brand new looking Jeep. So if a panel wasn't completely stripped down and painted, it was fully paint corrected, which is the next best step. Some people like that even more because it leaves the original paint intact. But on this old of a vehicle, there's not a value difference in whether something has original paint or not, unless it's got absurdly low miles. So what we're looking for is a brand new looking Jeep. So, and that's what you get. So we'll go ahead and do some close-ups of all the paint. Like I said, the doors do have the original paint, and as you see, I mean, it's just absolutely perfect. We also refinished the rear bumper in a black automotive paint. We also refinished the door handles. We popped those out, sand them all the way down, and repaint those as well. Front grille had a ton of rock chips on it. That was the main reason we painted that. As I stated earlier, new LED headlights, which are an absolute must in these older Jeeps. And then we brought in the black bezel as well instead of the chrome factory, just because there's no chrome on the Jeep. All the hardware on the suspension too, it's all grade 10 hardware. It'll never rust up on you. We also have a couple little things to tighten up on the suspension to do. We're putting brand new sway bar end links, which is part of our package, and a new track bar as well. But all that will be in the listing. Usually these top fenders just take a beating on these. They're very flat, so just in combination of the sun, rain hitting on it, it just sort of staying there. It doesn't really trickle down. It sort of dries there, and these top flares or fenders just are usually brutal on these TJs. I mean, you're not going to find a 2000 model Jeep this clean. These were also sanded down and repainted as well. You'll have a lot of shops just because the black is faded, put some armor all, which makes it look good in pictures, and then with the silicone, it'll obviously make it worse once it dries out or it gets rained on. Once again, new Spice top. Now, if there's anything you guys want to add to the Jeep, please let us know. We will be more than happy to do so. Whether you want a matching rear tubular bumper. The factory one was very clean. We repainted it. Maybe you want some factory or some tubular side steps. We'll be more than happy to do that. We didn't upgrade the exhaust system or anything like that, so if you're looking for anything like that, we'll be more than happy to do so. The interior of this thing is in amazing condition. Door panels are very clean. Vinyl on the seats are not cracked at all. The seats look amazing. The bolsters on the seats are still very, very thick and firm. They're not flattened out. Center console doesn't have the typical crack from elbows leaning on it. It is an automatic four-wheel drive Jeep. Does have AC. AC works great. Does have cruise control. No stains on the seats. If you're seeing any color, that's just the shadowing. These seats were covered with a set of very thick covers. And I could tell by when the covers were on there, they had been on for a while, which is one of the reasons these seats look so good, is they've just been protected. Carpets are very clean. And she's just a beautiful, beautiful Jeep. So as I mentioned, service-wise too, the Jeep is fully serviced. Rear main seal, valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket, front differential, rear differential, transfer case, transmission. And when I mention the driveline components like the transfer case, transmission, differentials, those get fully drained, inspected, flushed out, all new synthetic fluids, transmission gets a filter, all new gaskets. So when you're buying this Jeep from us, she's turnkey ready to go. Obviously you're gonna have to continue to maintain it, but there's nothing that you're gonna have to do when you get this Jeep from us. If you guys have any questions, 855-XJ Jeeps. That's 855-955-3377.